Hey people, I watched this good movie from Viper TV Films last night and it gave me the idea to make this. I had saw a picture in it of one of these Sumerian tablets that was enclosed inside another, so you had to break one off the outside before you could read it. So these evil Sumerians and Chaldeans, and they were fortune tellers, and they were always keeping up with the numbers and keeping up with the times. So I like to call these tablets mud bars. And you could see it here. This is BMDBR, the numbers in the mud bars. In the mud bar, I flip it around this Phoenician letter, and it's easier to read if we turn it the way we read it. But you can see it's BMDBR, in mud bar. And so this is the word that's given the meaning numbers in the Hebrew Bible. You can see here in the Hebrew where they call it numbers. It's in the mud bar. And you can see what I was talking about before, that they'll change the B to a V when they pronounce it sometime. So now it's in midvar, in the numbers 1. But when you see this word in the writings, they'll change it. Sometimes it's wilderness. Sometimes it'll be changed to the desert. Sometimes it's the swamp, I believe. It depending on where you see it, it'll change meanings. But it's mostly in the wilderness. So if you haven't done it yet, Google ancient letter meaning chart and get you a study on these. And look at the word meanings. They're all about the same. There's a couple of them that'll have a little more and different information. But this N is cycle. And so when I see a B, it means a house, and I'm going to say N some of the time. Sometimes I'll pronounce it because you'll recognize the word that way. And this is the tet, this is the TH, to collect. And this is shin, SH, the fire. And this is also a S. This is a Samic for the secrets. The shin is the fire. The T is the mark, is in writings, or a mark that you recognize to give a meaning. And the pay is the open, the mouth, or the open, and the cough is center. It's back, but it means the center, the side of the wall you can't see from either side. So I'm fixing to show you how to read these first 4 lines of numbers, and it's called the Census of Israel's Warriors, to see if there's really a wilderness inside these mud bars. So this is really easy. Everybody's going to get it. So this is to make dibber. And so to make dibber is speaking of numbers. 8 times the square root of pi to the 4th power. That's dibber. That's what kind of language that is. So to make dibber, to learn, starts with A, reads backwards, bind knowledge. To learn, and then his tax going to have me read this both ways, ESMSE, to this mesh in the mud bar. To make dibber, you learn this mesh in the mud bar, sign in the number, sign the secrets in work. And so this is, you're going to see signs several times, but this is the sign it's talking about. If you're not good with math, this is a good page to learn about sine. But sine is the opposite over the hypotenuse. So if you're standing here, and this is the the plane in front of you, and you're shooting a star up here. It's going to be the sine, is the opposite over the hypotenuse. The opposite divided by the hypotenuse is going to give you the sine, and that's going to give you a number, a percentage here. And so they were much more genius, and they did it with chords. And so they were working, their work was easy because it was all fractions of whole numbers that they were working with. And it makes it gives you the ability to do all this math in your head or on your fingertips. So I've been doing this for a while, and for the people who are new here, I tell them every time, but I'm gonna skip over that. But when you see this tack, I'm gonna read the next word backwards. So this, instead of MSE, this is now ESMSE. It's like you're reading a mirror halfway through the M here. And no words start with A, because this is written by alchemists, and A is the God letter, and you never look it in the face. You go to the other end and read it. So to make Dibber, the language of numbers, you, this is the word they give the meaning of Jehovah or Yahweh, and it means you. If you understand how to read this, this means you. If you don't understand, it means Lord. Go to the Lord and ask Him. The Lord is the man on the manner that knows how to read this. To make Dibber, you learn this mesh in the number sign of Baal. You know, Baal is usually what they call the devil. In the knowledge of the bind. And so that's why it's the devil, because they don't want you to know. In the knowledge of the bind of the mode, from the connection to see through. It's like a modem in what mode you're working in. In a head, in power to divide through, and to see in the future. In a head, to bind shades, to divide through fires, is to bind the shades. And then the sign, and so this is the sign, like a sign on the corner of the road telling you what road that is. In the sign, in the sun, N-S-N-E, in the sign in the sun. So the sun signs are your 12. These are your 12 sun signs, your 12 months, and they all have a planet associated with them. And so this would be your sixth sign over here is Virgo. That would be the sixth. And because the year started in March, Aries over here at the head in March. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Virgo. So this is your sign for a year. A serpent biting his tail. He done went around and bit his tail. That means a year. And the reason the months are called the shades is right here. It's not the reason for it, but this is why we get the word shades for the months. And each month has got its own shade. And so you'll see them, they're subdivided into 3. And so each month is a house, and then these are shacks in the house. So this is to bind the shades, the months, and the sign in the sun of this knit. This knit, to put it all together. And then to bind the cross at from. This is to bind Saturn. This is a bridge, to make the cross at. You do it at the bridge. It's also a Saturn, as in a port. As you cross through a city, you'll go through a gate, where you cross at. There's no other way through the wall. You have to go to the Saturn. To bind the cross at the march from crime. this is this X, M-A-R-X. And so this is leaving the land of Egypt from the march of crime. So this X has been given CH in the Latin, the march. And so here it is again, M from C-H-R-I-M, from crime. And so this is where your word crime come from, because they made this illegal. It became illegal to start fortune telling and future telling. So Egypt was from crime, the march from crime. And then the command, or the bind word, or to bind the knowledge from, to begin. And so to speak of numbers, you learn this mesh in the number signs, in the knowledge of the bind of the mode in the head, to bind them, the shades, the sign in the sun, this knit, to cross at march. So you cross at March. You cross at March is at the equinox, and you have, these are equal. These are, you have a equal days on these 2 days of the year when it's making the cross in Easter, and it's making the cross, and what it is, we're looking at the sun. So here the sun's sitting lower in the axis maxi. If we're in America, we're up on the top here, so the sun looks low down here at Christmas. At the ax max, the cross max. And here the cross is at the minimum. And this is when we're in our summer here. This is the midsummer. This is Easter. This midsummer, around Virgo the 6th, and then the 9th, and then Christmas. To the bridge, to bind the cross at, from March, from the crime, from the cross first work from cross first work from. So that's beginning of the year. Come Easter was the beginning of their year. To bind the knowledge from the first, the command, the bind word. AMR is given the meaning word most of the time. So too source, S-A-R-A-S. So to source, to call, and this next word will be backwards and forwards. To mark, the T is to mark through. D is a door, means through. To mark through, audit. In an audit, that's where this census comes from. The census, they're doing the audit, to collect all your numbers. To audit, Bing. Bing is a mark of time, and just like the Big Ben bings 12 times at noon and 1 time at 1 o'clock. To audit bings, the mark of time. And then backwards and forwards, to law raise his rule, or his role. The law raise his rule, his time to rule. And so his time to rule is 1 month. His time to rule is 1 month. Or if you're looking at the precession, Pisces is going to rule for his precession, is 1/12 of the precession. So they rule for 2,000 years, and they rule for 1 month. And this gives you the times. This is the way the times are written. Gives you the times of the years, the times of the processions, and the times of the months in shades, in the colors. Red is first. To mark through the audit, to bing, to mark the time, to bind the powers, to LA, bind powers first, to consume. The law rise, his role, his rule. And then this is LM, to bind from SPHTM, to bind from the spot from. To bind from the spot from, to bind in it. And it starts with A backwards. From tab. From the tab. These are tabs. These are little markings to let you know what page to work with. From tab. In from cipher. SPR. The secrets to open first. And so this cipher you'll see is the first, the word before each chapter. You'll see it from the cipher, SPR, the cipher, the chemist, open the code work from. Cipher, chemist, open code work from. And from cipher, the smut. The smut, all the names on the wall. The names, the same what. And so the same what is the written name that goes with the connected seal. The same what, the names. And to call first. And so you call first from the tab, from the color. And the color to give Zachar. The color to give the Zachar. Color to give the Zachar is the fire. The Zachar and the Nephib. The male and the female. The red and the blue. The color to give first. And so this is color-coded for the monkeys, because the dogs can't see in color. The dogs can't read these writings. The color first, to begin. And from cipher, the same what color gives Zachar, bind Gilgil time. And so a Gilgil is the ancient circle, Adam's calendar, or it's a circle of stones marking points so you could tell what time it is, a Gilgil. From Ben, Osirim's son. From Ben, this is like B-E-E-N, from in the cycle. And so that's a period of time. Where have you been? I'm talking about a certain period of time. From Ben Osirim. So this Osirim is the eye consume. You see it at the end of Vios, to see, to make the eye consume is to see. But this is as in watch. The watcher make from sun. From in the cycle of the watcher make from sun. Or from in the cycle, from Ben Osirim's son. And so this is Osiris, and he's the green god, the father of all the gods. And this is Bennu. This is Ben. You'll see when it talks about the sons of Israel, they're all Ben, B-N-I, being the Ben work, Ben make, the 12 sons of Israel. From Ben Osirim's son. Connect from whole. This is O-L. It means to see the bind lifer, all lifer. Whole, W-H-O-L-E. Connect from whole. To call the axis, A-X-I-X. The axis knowledge. Cross in knowledge in his role, in his time slot, in his 12th. The top center through, or the top code to, the top code to, mate, from to, from to, bind, cross, in, at, from, to bind the cross in, at, the where the crossing, cross in, to bind the crossing at, from, to bind the crossing, knowledge, time, et tu, and or, et tu, and slash or, to bind the crossing a time, and or where on, wherein. So you're learning by shooting the stars, and you're learning to bind the knowledge of the crossing of time, and or where you're at, and or where you're at. They're trying to figure out where they're at. To bind the knowledge of the crossing of time, and or where at. What come ye to see? Bind math. It's bind M-T-H-E. So CC is that's your number 6. CC. In CC, September, October, November, December. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 6, September, October, November, December. That's in all the Latin, French, Spanish, and you'll see that the French got the best counting system. And when they get up there, you have your 6 times 10. 6 times 10 plus 1, and 1. 6 times 10 plus 10. 6 times 10 plus a dozen. 4 times 20. 4 times 20 plus a dozen. What come to make the work connected? The wage to 6, bind math. The 6 times 6 is 36, and that's your 36 shacks. That's the 36 shacks of the moon. You have 36 shacks. 3 times 12, 36. And we're starting here at Anubis. And this is because this is older. This is older than the Hebrew Bible. What come to make the works connected? 6, bind math. The 6 rows to bind in it, to make tab into have. 6 rows to bind in it, to make tab, or the wit in knowledge, in the marks, works connected, the connected knowledge, the wit in learn, into the connected knowledge, the wit in, to learn in, the marks make connected. The Father is math. The Father of science, the math. Of who? Of the connected knowledge. So won't everybody leave me a number below? Give me a percentage of how much of this you're understanding. And give me an idea of how much I need to slow down. Tell me what you're not understanding. And tell me what you are understanding. And I'm going to cut this off here. Good day. Hope everybody got this. Hope everybody shares. And hope everybody learns this ancient language. Good day.